Okay, we're back. I think we're filming. I think we're filming. All right, we're back. This has dried. So I've got my masking fluid here, the Pebo, it's called. We like this kind. Let's hope that that worked. Take off the loopy parts, the yucky parts, sticky parts. Okay. You're gonna use not your good brush. You want to use a brush that's exclusively for masking fluid, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here. This does not need to be diluted, and the nice thing is it's a little blue, so I can see where I've put it. So we're gonna put that on real quickly, just a tiny bit. It does not have to be very thick, right? Don't worry about whether it's going to cover when you see it on the paper, because it's blue. Then that means you've got enough on there, all right? I've also got a little container of soapy water to kind of clean the brush out once in a while. Okay, so I put a little on. I mean, in general, masking fluid brushes do not last very long. They start to lose their point, and you end up needing to have another bad brush graduate to take care of this stuff. Okay, so we'll do this quick. So I'm going to put this on all of them, and then we'll see if there's any place else that I want to use masking fluid. Right. So I'm debating about whether we're going to do these classes in real time with just a few edits, or whether you want me to speed up the film, go really fast. So let me know which way you would like these to work. Okay. What I think I'll do is I'll get this picture to a certain stage, send out the videos, and then you guys can work on them. And what we'll do is we'll set up a Zoom meeting to go over how we all did and what the next, step might be, because it's going to be hard for everyone to talk and paint at the same time, I'm thinking here. Okay. All right, we've got the masking fluid covered where I want it. I still want to do a little something on the outside here. So let's just play with this, okay? Let's see what we can do. I've got a couple brushes, pulling out a few more here. I've got a nice 1/2 inch flat, and I'm thinking I want to put a little bit of some greens in the background here. Let's move this over. That much. I want this to sort of work as a wet background. So rather than masking things, and I kind of want the leaves, the petals of these crocuses to be a little loose. So what I'm doing is sort of just wetting one area here, and we're going to drop a little color in and see what happens. Right, it's kind of a nice yellow green. Let's see if I can find my sap green here. Right, we're thinking spring. Ooh, that is bright. Okay, so remember the water is going to move wherever it's wet. Got a few little dots in there that I left dry. That's probably a good thing for me, since I hardly ever remember to do that. And let's let's just take this around. So, I'm looking at that. I'm gonna see if I like it. And we can pull things around. The flat is nice because you can angle it, right? Get in between the petals and not have to worry too much. You don't have to go real fast either if you're using a lot of water here, right? Okay, so let's see if we can leave a few little bits of white again. What I'm doing is I'm painting around the crocus petals. I'm going to leave the stems and things for the moment. I'm just kind of color here. Pull some of this out. Maybe we want a different green this time. Let's give this a try. This is there's my sap green. Right, slightly different than what this was. Okay. Oops. Take a little piece of paper towel if you're going, things are in the wrong spot. Let's look, what else have we got for greens? We have a nice leaf green here. And I'll eventually get this a little darker, that kind of stuff. I don't really feel like painting it to look like mulch, which is where, the crocuses are up before anything. If we think about it, we'll see. Okay, so I'm working with a very wet brush, right? So it's not a problem to take my time going around because I'm leaving a pool of paint all the way around as I go. I can always add more water, right? And I think we're gonna drop in a few other colors on top of this as well. I think I want to now, right? Because we're like that. Okay, so we've got some nice greens and I really want to add a little bit of blue. So let's give this a try. We've got some cerulean or some manganese. They're very similar. Whatever you have. Oops, easy. Oops. Okay, a little too wet. There we go. Come back in. Let's see if we can make the little stems show up a little bit. We'll see. We'll probably change the color of them as we go. Who knows? It does give us a nice dark green. Okay. I'm going to switch back to my leaf green, or my sap green and my leaf green, right? And put them together. Okay, we've got a one coming out here. That's a little dark, a little heavy, so I've just got water now. And I'm just going to pull it around. If you miss the tips of anything, don't sweat it too much. We can always scrub them if we have to, right? Clean them up a little bit. Or take your time. You can still do this if you want. You need a little bit more control. Take a tiny bit of water out of the brush. Okay. If you're going to do a small area, you can do it with less water, and then come back and drop a little water in, right? Because we still want this really loose. In fact, I'm going to drop a little water there just to make sure I don't get a straight line anywhere as this is drying, right? Okay, so what we're doing is we're just pulling the water around the flowers. Whoops, a daisy. I missed one. There he is. Okay, do over. I like that. We have that option. A little dark in there, so I'm just going to add a little water. Okay. Maybe we want a little bit of yellow. Let's give something a try here. Here's a little, here's my gamboge. Let's just put a little of that in to get a little more of a lighter yellow, right? You can mix your yellows, you can mix your greens, you can mix whatever you want, or use what you have. basically we're just coming around, and what I'm doing is sort of defining the flowers so that I can see sort of where I'm gonna be painting next. I like the yellow in there. The gamboge looks kind of nice. So let's, in that sense, let's add a little bit more here. Right, if I like something, I always add more. I'll put more in. We'll do something else with the background too. This isn't the end of it, but it's just to start off with. Okay, so I'm using this flat brush because I like how much water it holds, and the fact that I can get in into the smaller areas without having to switch brushes a lot. Right, I can pull it around so we get some more green here. Ooh, she should probably leave some dry areas. Huh? Right, if I leave a little bit of white, kind of makes it look more sketch-like. More green, but still not enough interest. So we're going to come back here. Here's the blue again. Just put a little in. It's going to all dissipate and move around, so we're not going to see as much of a difference the first time around. Right? I could also lift it up, and then it's all going to sort of move around. Okay. Take a little water out. Let's get a piece of paper towel here. I always have one in my hand for emergencies. All right, let's see here. Come back in. That's a pretty color. Maybe we leave that because I like how that's looking. All right, let the water do the work. Always mop up where you don't want it. Come in here. It's sort of like a puzzle. Come in and, you know, similar to a puzzle. We're going to do all the greens first, and then we'll find the other colors and pull them out. Right. Okay, here. So this one I wanted to make a tiny bit smaller. It looked like it was a little too big when I sketched it out. So I'm going to come in and just make it smaller on my own here. Alright, there's a little crocus stem. It's so nice to see them up. They're really cute. I have like one or two, not this nice big clump that is the photograph here. So, yeah, they're pretty. It's a reminder that other things are coming, right? They're a little lonely, aren't they, when they come out? There's just not much else happening at the same time. A bit. Let's pop a little bit of blue in here. Right, wherever it's wet, you can kind of just touch it with things. Right, we're trying to make something interesting looking. So don't scrub, right? You don't want to go back and really fuss with this. But what you can do is, like, as it starts to evaporate, you can put a few more in, and they're not going to move as much. They might actually stay there. We'll see. I'm going to clean my brush out, go back to my leaf green. This is very wet, not as wet over here, so let's start on this side and pull this around. Okay. Hard to talk and have a steady hand. Actually, probably had too much. I had coffee this morning. Don't usually have coffee, so we'll see how much my hand shakes during this tutorial. All right, there's our green, and remember we like the yellow, the gamboge. Throw some of that in. Okay. Grab a little more. Maybe this is a little more yellow over here. That's the crocuses we have are all purple. So the yellow plus our yellow inside, which you can't see because it's got the masking fluid on top of it, which is why it looks so green. Okay, so we're just coming around here. Try and connect those two together. Maybe leave that. That's actually a nice, I like the yellow up in the corner up there. As opposed to having it everywhere, right? The exact opposite of what I said about the yellow earlier. But let's just drop a little bit more in. Let's see. Okay, so this is not an actual line right there. If I look at my, you can kind of refer to your picture a little bit. Masking fluid. Okay. What's nice about this picture is all the little negative shapes around the petals. It's very interesting composition because of all these darks on the inside. Well, we just have to actually find them. Where are they? Here they are. Well, all right, we're getting a little smaller. Might be time to switch brushes. Let's see. Now, if I want, I can also drop a little bit of paint in here. Do I have another? No, we don't. I'm going to get some clear water. Let's try dropping a little bit in here. That gives us an interesting texture on things, right? Maybe a little too wet to start with. We'll try it again. Oh, wow. Okay, let me come in with a smaller brush. I'm gonna do, you know, you can mix on your palette or you can let the paint mix on the paper, right? There's many, many ways to do this. So let's find out where we are here. Get a little water off of things. Okay, so we know, oh, I took a few flowers out of the middle to give me a few more bits of negative space. Clean that off. Drop a tiny bit of yellow in, see what it does. I've already got the yellow on my brush here, so maybe I will use it over here. It's a little too dark. So just this, and I've got my arm in my picture. Just the background, not crucial. Okay. Right, so this one's a little yellow. Let's drop a little the green in. Oh, so it's just like a little puzzle here, trying to figure out where the petals are. It's not important that the background match all over. It's more interesting if it doesn't. Okay. I'll try a little yellow in there. Let's turn this. It's just starting to dry a little bit. Let's see if we can add a few more darker. No, still too wet there. Right, you see it's starting to buckle in places. So some places have too much water, some places have too little. The crocuses have a very pretty little leaf. It's got a nice rounded tip though. So rather than painting out, I'm starting here and going down because it seems to give it a better little tip at the end. Okay. you know, this is not that crucial to do right now. You can while you're just waiting for other things to fill in, or you could let the outside dry in case you didn't want to hit it with your hand as many times as I did. Right? See, the petals work better if I go in this direction. Okay. Why don't we let that dry? All right, and you can fill in the rest without me. How's that? All right. So, stage 1, looking good.